time has come, the prophecy fulfilled, the fires of judgment
Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah.
Is the book of Hebrews 6 and 17. Get right to the point, wherein the Heavenly Father, or God, which his name is Yahweh, his son's name is Yahweh Shai, wherein God willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise. Who's that? That's the nation of Israel, beginning with the elect. The heirs of promise. Heir means someone who's set to inherit something. The first thing we're going to inherit, those of us that are part of the elect, is salvation by Yahweh Shai into those chariots. Then we're going to inherit those new bodies that the Apostle Paul talked about. As a matter of fact, the Apostle Paul said in 1 Corinthians 15, we shall be changed in the twinkling of an eye. Like that, we're going to get these new indestructible bodies. In other words, we're never going to die. Death is going to be a thing of the past. So we're going to be like gods. Psalms 82 and 6. You know, we're going to have godlike powers in the flesh. We're going to have godlike powers in the flesh. I just gave you a couple of examples of what we're set to inherit. That's why it says heirs of promise. So let's read it again. Wherein the Heavenly Father willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise, and hopefully that's us, the immutability of his counsel. Now let's look up that word. That's a big word, man. Immutability. Let's define that word. Immutability comes from the word immutable. It says unchanging over time or unable to be changed. So the Heavenly Father's word is unable to be changed. It cannot change.
Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Makadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders and GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers and listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into, all right, with this lesson, is going into, keep fighting. We have another glory, all right, on the way. There's another glory on the way. And one thing about the Bible, it's a very motivating book, okay? And when you read the scriptures and you look into what the Heavenly Father, all the promises that he makes to his people that we have to look forward to, well, it's an incentive to keep fighting, and as we desire righteousness in the earth, well, the Lord's getting ready to give us our desire with a whole nother glory to go with it, with a whole nother glory to go with it, while people, all right, are trying to figure out, what's going on, what's happening. People have so much uncertainty, in this world, or they're just oblivious, in their own world, blind to the fact of what's really happening, man. We see our powers at work. Our power is at work, man. And he's doing a mighty work on behalf of the elect of his people, and the Lord is finna usher in righteousness in the earth forever. Okay? And this sacrifice that we're making, which is possible due to the sacrifice made by Yahushua, that we have this grace period, okay, to where we're covered, for sin, where we fall short in sin by the blood of Yahushua, which gives us, the ability, okay, to grow in the spirit, okay, to labor in his word without being constantly condemned. That's off the sacrifice of Yahushua. Okay, and he made his sacrifice so we can sacrifice, make our body a living sacrifice. Okay, as we fight for righteousness in the spirit. We awaken to a spiritual war. Okay, where the Lord has tasked us, okay, with edifying his people behind enemy lines. Okay, and the Lord is going to reward us for that. Okay, matter of fact, even before I get into that, let's go here in the Hebrews chapter. Let's get the book of Hebrews chapter 6. Okay, and we'll get into it. This is Hebrews 6 and 10. It said, "For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which you have showed towards his name, and that you have ministered to the saints and do minister." Okay, so the Most High is not unrighteous to forget our work and labor of love. This is a work and the labor of love. This takes time. This takes studying consistently, watching, being disciplined, restraint. This is a labor. This is a life. This is a lifestyle, man. This is not something we do on the side. No, this is a lifestyle. It's a work and a labor of love. We got to really toil it. We got to really toil. You really got to put in labor in this truth, man. And it's a labor of love. Out of love for Yahweh Bashim Shai, and out of love for the hopeful elect, man. The edification of the church. You see, the brotherhood. Okay, so it's a work and the labor of love which you have showed towards his name. Okay, the name of Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. We teach in those names, we prophesy in those names. Okay, those are the banners that we come under, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, and that you have ministered to the saints and do minister. Okay, so the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor and love. Okay, and there's going to be a reward for that. You see, we have another glory at the end of this work and labor and love. There's a glory. Okay, and within that, let's go here. Let's go back to Isaiah 56. Okay, we went into verse 4. All right, the other night. Let's go into verse 5. All right, going into those blessed eunuchs. Okay, but now let's go into another glory. Okay, in these everlasting names that we're going to have in the kingdom. Okay, Isaiah 56 and 5, it says, "Even unto them will I give in my house, okay, and within my walls a place and a name better than of sons and daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off." Okay, so having the name within the walls, okay, of the Heavenly Father, man, that's within existence, because the Most High, he contains existence within himself. Okay, so within his walls, within the existence, man, we're going to have a great name. Okay, and it says better than sons or daughters, and they're speaking about on this side, because sons, especially sons, okay, well, that's a continuation of your legacy as a man, of your house. Okay, but on this side, all right, it's corrupted, because we're still mortal. Okay, and we're in captivity. So you can have as many sons and daughters as you want, but we're in captivity in this corruptible flesh. Okay, that's not much of a glory. You see? But when we're changed, all right, we're going to be immortals, and our children are going to be immortal. It's going to be a whole nother glory. That's why I say I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. Okay? So we're going into another glory. Okay, there's beyond sons and daughters on this side, but no, we're coming into an upgrade. Okay, to where we're going to be immortal. We're going to have everlasting names. See, we're going to be renowned. Right now, we're not renowned. Okay, we're still called by bywords in another man's kingdom. Okay, but in the kingdom, we're going to be renowned immortals. We're going to be renowned men, kings and priests in the earth. Because you go into this word name, I will give them an everlasting name. Well, let's go into this name. This word name. Okay. So you go into the word name. All right. And it's Shum. All right. And you go into what's his name. It says reputation. All right. Fame and glory. Memorial or monument. You see? And we're going to have fame and glory and the reputation. Okay. In the kingdom, we're going to share in the glory. Okay. Of Yahweh Shai. Okay. We're going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai in the righteous kingdom. It's going to be a whole. See, we're going to have a reputation that's immortal. We're going to have a legacy that's immortal. We're going to have fame and glory beyond what we can fathom in this flesh, man. And it's going to be in righteousness, man. Okay. But it's a thing of patience. We're fighting. Okay. It's a thing of patience, but this is what we're fighting for. And not just to have a name, just to have it, no, but to assist Yahweh Shai and forward in righteousness in the earth. The name, the reputation, the glory, that's going to come with it. Okay? But to see righteousness flourish in the earth, to see our people back in power. Okay? The heathen subjection, man. Esau, okay, on death row and eventually done away with. Okay? And it's going to be a reputation, the fame, and the glory that comes with that. Okay? That's why here, when you go, let's get this real quick. Let's get this in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 2. And start here. So you go to 2nd Ezra. All right, chapter 2. And verse 42, it says, I, Ezra, saw upon Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not with songs. Okay? And this is the elect. And of the elect, you have the first fruits, which are going to be crowned. Okay? And joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. It says, and in the midst of them, there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marvel at greatly. Okay? So this is Yahweh Shai. Okay? Who was taller than the rest. He's going to be physically taller, but his rank. All right? He's going to be more exalted. All right? Because he's the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Okay? So he's going to be the most exalted. Okay? But he's putting crown on the heads of the men that endured to the end. Okay? That didn't bend the knee. You see? And it says, so I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, these be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High, the name of Yahweh, through his son named Yahweh Shai. Professing it boldly, even in these times when you see guys are retreating back to this Jesus Christ name. A lot of guys are retreating back to Jesus Christ. No, the house of David is boldly, okay, standing on the names of Yahweh and his son named Yahweh Shai. And they are crowned and receive palms. Okay, now are they crowned and receive palms? Okay, and palms represents victory. Okay, crown, authority. Okay, it says, then said I unto the angel, what young person is this that crowned them and gave them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world, then began not greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. And that's going to be the glory and the reputation and the fame of the elect, beginning with the first fruits of how they stood stiffly against all odds, man. Okay? How they didn't care about their life to confess Yahushua. Okay? Some of them even took the death rather than bend the knee and take to see him. Okay? When they awakened to the truth, and they began to cast off this world and begin to labor for the world to come. That's going to be part of that glory, man. These men invested everything into a righteous kingdom. They invested everything into their power. Okay? That's what these men are going to be known for, standing stiffly when the whole world was anti-Messiah. These men stood for Yahushua. Okay? They didn't budge. They didn't move. Okay? They consistently taught this word. They never changed. Okay? And that's going to be an everlasting good name. Okay? We're going to be immortals, those new bodies. Okay? And it's going to far exceed anything that we can have on this side. Okay? That's why when you go here, let's go back. So you go here to let's get Proverbs 22. All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 1. It says, a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and love and favor rather than silver and gold. And if we got a good name with the Most High, we good. Riches come with it. Okay, but the good name is more important. Okay, because certain of our people have so-called wealth now, but look at their name, look at their reputation, look at what they had to do. Okay, with the enemy. Okay, look what's attached to that. But now in the kingdom, our wealth is going to be attached to a righteous legacy, man. Okay, love and favor with the Most High, that's abundance forever. You see, things are going to flow to us in righteousness, man. We're going to have a good name. We want a good name with the Most High. We want a good name with Yahushua. Just as Apostle Gabar said, he wants more than anything is that job well done from Yahushua. Okay? We get that job well done from Yahushua, our name good forever. Yahushua look at us and say, job well done. We good forever. That's everlasting. Love and favor from Yahweh by Shema Shai, having a good name without power, that's everlasting. That supersedes wealth, because wealth comes after that. Wealth is unlimited now. Okay, resources, families, everything is going to be unlimited. After we solidify names with Yahweh by Shema Shai, without power, without father, not big brother, man, we good forever. You see? That's what comes first. Okay, so let's go from there. Okay, because what are we going to be in the earth? You see, let's get this in Isaiah. You see, we're going to be known, okay, the priest of the Most High, man, forever. Now, these are the men. Okay, it's going to be understood that these are the sons of God. These are the priests of the Most High. Okay, under Yahushua, the order of Melchizedek. Okay, let's go here. Isaiah 61:6. It says, but ye shall be named the priests of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Men shall call you the ministers of our power. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles. They're going to be tributaries. And in their glory shall ye boast yourselves, man. Okay, because we're going to take on the authority, all right, of the whole earth. All the authority that these heathens have under Esau and these heathens, all the honor that they have. I mean, all the authority that they have. Well, Yahweh Shai is going to come script them for that and redistribute that authority amongst his men. Okay, in righteousness, man. Okay, but it said you shall be named the priest. Okay, not by words, man. See, we have, and this gonna be forever, and we'll never fall from this glory. Okay, once Yahweh Shai returns and we're changed, okay, and we're set up in rulership, we'll never fall from that glory again. That's why it's an incorruptible, okay, crown. You see, when you go to Revelation chapter 5, all right, this book of Revelation chapter 5 and 9, it says, and they sung a new song, okay, and this is what the prophets, man, okay, singing this new song, this refreshed song, the truth, the gospel, okay, the victory over the heathen, the victory over the beast, okay, the downfall of Esau, Edom, okay, and it says, and to open the seals thereof, for thou was slain, you know, how shall open the understanding for us to be able to tap into this, man, okay, for us to have an opportunity, okay, to come into this glory, man, okay, it says it has redeemed us to the Most High by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. Okay, and this is the elect being delivered from throughout all the earth, the elect of Israel, because that kindred, we always got to go into it. Okay, because a simple Christian, you know, stop the video and, you know, make a, you know, response. Well, Hebrew Israelites, answer me this. Hebrew Israelites, no response for Revelation 5 and 9. You see? But nah, man, when it says every kindred, it shows you, all right, if you go into that word, Fule.
Strong's G 5443. Fule. Fule.
Okay, it says a tribe. It says in the New Testament, all persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob. Okay, so these kindreds are Israelites that are amongst the other nations because we've been scattered. Okay, which was a curse put on us for disobedience. Deuteronomy 28, we will be scattered throughout the four winds. Okay, so you will have our people looking like the other nations and speaking in the languages of the other nations, but they're Israelites. Okay, and there's an elect amongst, okay, all these other nations of the earth. There's an elect of Israel amongst all these other nations, man. Okay, and what are we going to be? It has made us, all right, unto our power, kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. Okay, so the children that we're going to have in the kingdom, where they're going to be the sons and daughters of rulers. Okay, right now we in captivity. Okay, the Lord got something better for us, man. You see, even Yahweh Shai, okay, when they ask Yahweh Shai, let's go to Matthew 19. All right, you go to Matthew chapter 19, verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What should we have thereafter? You know, and that's a requirement in this ministry, man. You know, to where everything takes a back seat to the truth. Everything is on the back burner for this truth, man. Okay? Everything's on the back burner. And the truth becomes a priority. Okay? We begin to revolve around the truth, man. You know, our life now revolves around the ministry. You see? And that's a requirement. Each brother according to their portion, their lot. But that's a requirement. Okay? How shall I say, if you can't bear your cross and follow me, you're not worthy to be my disciple. Okay? If Yahweh Shai is not the priority, we're not worthy to be his disciple. We're not worthy for this glory that's to come. Okay? Because what Yahweh Shai got coming for us, man, we're gonna be able to get everything that we so-called lost back and then some. And that's what Yahweh Shai is finna go into. And Yahweh Shai said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which shall follow me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, you also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? So there was Yahweh Shai let them know, look, y'all come back in this last time, because now we've been reincarnated, regeneration. These spirits have been regenerated into other bodies. Okay? The spirits of the elect have been reincarnated in this time, the time of Yahweh Shai, because he's finna sit the throne of his glory. Okay? So the elect have been regenerated. Those spirits have been regenerated through the process of reincarnation. Okay? In this time. So now as Yahweh Shai is finna sit his throne where there's a remnant. Okay, beginning with those first fruit, they're finna sit on thrones with Yahweh Shai, man. You know, he's talking to the 12, which, all right, the 12 represent those first fruits, those 12,000 men from each tribe, which is going to be part of their governing body. Okay, they're going to be, they're going to have, you know, those higher ranks in Israel, even amongst other Israelites. Okay, so going back to, you know, us forsaking everything, well, we got so much more to come. And really, we haven't forsaken much. We don't got much. You know, we don't got much, man. You see, we have nothing here. Okay, this is we're in slavery. We're in captivity, man. Okay, so the Lord is going to give us a whole nother glory, man. The Lord finna upgrade us, man, in every way. Okay, so it says, and everyone that have forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake, okay, shall receive an 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. Okay, so on this side, what we got on this side, now there are going to be whole families delivered, man, woman, and children. All right, man, women, and children. Okay, however, okay, but then there's going to be brothers that's going to be delivered by themselves. Okay, and they're going to be able to become a nation on the other side. Okay, well, these are beautiful times, man. Anything that we can think about losing on this side, the Lord's going to give it. The Lord's going to give us greater. Whatever we lose, lands, we're going to get something greater. Okay, parents, our parents are going to come back as our children. We are the first fruit. Okay, they're going to come back as our children. Okay, we happen to, you know, their brothers, children betray them, the woman, whatever. We're gonna get that back 100-fold. Okay, the Lord got something better than this current situation. You know, we have to understand the Lord has way better than this current situation, man. We really gotta believe that, man, and that helps us not put so much stake in these things right now. But right now, okay, is the right for the right now, man. We got something on the other side, man. And Yahweh Shai got our heart's desires, man. He got everything. Yahweh Shai coming back, as the scriptures say. Matter of fact, and it says, but many that are first shall be last, and the last, all right, shall be first. And right now we're the last. Okay, Israel, we're the last nation in the earth. We're last. And of Israel, okay, you have a remnant, okay, that's even below that. Okay, because the Lord doesn't allow us to raise up in this world, to be raised up in this world of we of the remnant, because we got something better. The Lord only let us go so far if we of the elect, and that's good. That the Lord got a limit on us, man, to where we don't get too far out of pocket, man, in this world. Okay, but the elect, they're the lowly. That doesn't mean that we're, dirt poor, but we're not up of the upper echelon of our people. Okay, he didn't pull from the ranks of the LeBron James and Jay-Z's and okay, the upper echelon of our people. No, he pulled from amongst the lowly. Okay, so those that are last are going to be first, and that's in the earth, man. Okay, we always go into this word first. All right, let's get this word first. Okay, wait, 144, G44, 13. Okay, which is protos.
Strong's G 4413. Protos. Protos.
Mm-hmm. All right, says first. Okay, in time or place, it says first in rank, influence, or honor, chief. Okay, we got another glory. Okay, we got a whole nother, we got a rank that we can't even fathom, man, if we endure to the end. You see? And within that rank and that glory, the Lord is gonna have, he gonna let us have, okay, everything unlimited. Anything that we can lose on this side, we're gonna have unlimited. Okay, family, wealth, status, land, we're gonna have these things unlimited, man. And we're gonna be, all right, first in rank in the earth, man. Okay, so we got a lot to look forward to, and Yahweh Shah said, let's get this. All right, and that makes us not put so much emphasis on things on this side, man. It really is nothing here. You sit back, okay, you step back and view things, and there's nothing here. Okay, it's nothing. So we got everything coming, So let's get this real quick. All right. Isaiah 62:11 said, behold, the Lord Yahweh Bashim al-Shai have proclaimed unto the end of the world, say ye to the daughter of Zion, behold, thy salvation cometh, behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. Okay? So Yahweh Shai is on the way back, and it said his work is before him, because he's finna get busy with these nations. He's finna take down all the nations of the world. Yahweh Shai finna take down all the nations of the world. Esau and all these heathen nations, the Lord's finna go to work in righteous judgment, man. Okay, he's finna strip them from all authority, man. Okay, and take that authority to himself and distribute it amongst his brethren, man. And delegate that authority amongst his brethren, those that endure. And that's part of the reward. His reward is with them, man. Okay? Yahweh Shai know what we want. He know what we lack. He know what we need. We finna be a great people. We're gonna nation build. Okay? This side is full of chaos and confusion and manipulation and games. And nah, man, on the other side, it's gonna be real. It's gonna be authentic. Okay? It's gonna be directly from the Most High. Okay? It's gonna be him rewarding his people. You see? So let's go here to Zephaniah. Let's get this in the NLT. It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 19. It says, and I will deal severely with all who have oppressed you. And see, we seeing the Lord getting ready to deal severely with Esau. Esau's in the trick bag, man. Everything that this nigga's trying to do is going to fail miserably, man. Most High got Esau set up for failure, man. And we're finna see the Lord, all right, really show his hatred towards Esau. We finna see Esau collide with the fury of the Lord. Okay? It says, I will save the weak and helpless ones. I will bring together those who were chased away. I will give glory and fame to my former exiles wherever they have been mocked and shamed. Okay? So we got glory and fame because throughout the earth we've been mocked. Esau with his, his media, he has made a mockery of us, man, in the earth, man. Okay? This man has made us, all right, to be a complete mockery and shame in the earth. And plus the social engineering and the enchantments that they, all right, just saturate our people with, to where our people, have become an embarrassment, man. Okay, but the Lord's going to get rid of the 2/3 and he's going to exalt the 1/3, okay, to glory and fame and righteousness, man. It said, verse 20, on that day I will gather you together and bring you home again. I will give you a good name. You see that? A name of distinction among all the nations of the earth, and I will restore your fortunes before their very eyes. I, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai, have spoken it, man. So just as these nations seen us mocked, okay, and in our shameful condition, well, they're going to see us change and put back in power. Okay, and the Lord restore our fortunes, man. Okay, restore us back to rulership. The true Israelites going to be in Israel. It ain't going to be no, all right, having to guess and do research. Or these, no, it's going to be understood. It's going to go without saying, okay, these are the Lord's people. It's going to be a major difference between us, all right, and them dusty ass small hats, man. Okay, it's going to be a major difference, man. And anything that we have so-called lost on this side, man, it's coming right back in abundance and in righteousness and in glory. Okay, it's going to be really ours, man. Okay, this is Isaiah 60 and 21. It says, thy people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever, the branch of my planting and the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. Okay, so our glory is going to be an extension of the glory of the Lord. Our righteousness is going to be an extension of the righteousness of the Lord. Okay, it says a little one shall become 1,000. Okay, so you lose children on this side. Okay, however it might go, man, you might be betrayed. A woman might run off with them in the end. However, man, so many things that it can go, but betrayal is going to come for some. There's going to be whole households delivered, and the Lord just going to add to those houses. Okay, and he's going to multiply those houses, man, astronomically. Okay, it says a little one shall become 1,000, a small one, a strong nation. I, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai, will hasten it in this time, man. Okay, so when you go back to Isaiah, what's that, 50, 56 and 5, just to bring it home, Isaiah 56 and 5, even unto them will I give in mine house and within my walls a place and a name better than of sons and daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off, man. Okay, we got another glory. We got a major upgrade, a major promotion. Okay, that's coming at the return of Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, and our names will never be cut off, man. Okay, so Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edify once again. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful. Shalom.